Hello, hello, and welcome to Bla Bla Black Sheep, a weekly yarny podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, answer your yarny questions. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. There's a lot out there on the YouTubes, and so if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much. I appreciate you clicking in and checking this out. We're gonna have a good time today. I'm gonna share a little bit about what I've been up to, what's going on in my life, share some small businesses I love, and then get to some really good questions this week. Not that other weeks haven't had good questions, but I'm really excited to answer these. So let's get going. Guys, what am I wearing today? I'm not going to show you how to put it on because it's a necklace. This is my beginner Tunisian necklace. I made this a few years back. And I just wanted a simple project that was specifically designed to teach people how to do Tunisian crochet, how to start out, but was small enough that you did not need to buy any additional supplies. So that was the inspiration for this. And I just love how it turned out. So if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, or if you're just like, I would like a small, simple pattern to work on, we're going to talk about this more, but work on this summer. This is a nice, lightweight, fun project. This is your gal. It's got 3 variations, a Tunisian simple stitch variation, a 2-color Tunisian simple stitch, and then the Tunisian full stitch. I suppose I could take this off and show it closer. So this is the 2-color simple stitch. I did not grab my, I need to start transitioning over. I have all my warm, cold weather cozy makes out. I need to dig and get out my warmer weather stuff. So then there's also the full stitch. So 3 different stitches to learn and techniques in one pattern. And it's just great for summer. It's fun to just throw on. It's so lightweight. I made this when my kids were a little smaller and I was a little closer to this stage in life, but where like I had to be careful with my jewelry because, like you're bending down a lot to help your kids and you don't want it to like swing out and whack them in the face. So this is nice and lightweight, super fun to make, great for gift giving. And then there are all sorts of fun ways to embellish the rest of the necklace here, which is just so much fun. So check out the projects page on the pattern for that to see what other people have done. I made this one using Kotlin from We Crochet. It's a really nice to use summer yarn. I intended to do a review on it, and I didn't. It's been, like I said, a couple years since I've made this, but I recall that there was a lot of veggie matter in the yarn as I worked on it. So I spent quite a bit of time pulling like little bits of, I'm assuming the linen fiber, maybe the cotton, probably the linen though, that was just like fibrous, wasn't really part of the yarn. So that was my only beef with it. It comes in lots of really pretty colors. And like I said, I haven't used it in a couple years, so maybe they've taken care of that. If you want to check it out, there's going to be a link below. Friends, so many links in this video. Almost everything we're going to talk about has links related to it. Don't you worry. I've got you. I've put them all in the show notes below. So if you see something you're interested in or you want to check out a little more, I got you covered. So check those out. What is bringing me joy, friends? It was Mother's Day here recently in the United States, which I know you're not all in the United States and not every country. I don't know. Does every country celebrate a type of Mother's Day or Caregiver's Day of some sort? I know that they're not all at the same time. So, but ours was last weekend. And my oldest kept saying, I'm going to bring you breakfast in bed. I'm going to bring you breakfast in bed. I'm going to set my alarm early and bring you breakfast in bed. And my husband kept being like, no, he's not. He's not going to follow through with that. But here's the thing. When my big one gets something in his head, he is like set on it. And so since this was his idea, I didn't ask for breakfast in bed. This was just something that, like, you hear like, oh, bring mom breakfast in bed. And he got that in his head as something he could do that you were supposed to do for Mother's Day. And so he was going to do it. And so, and then the little one's gift to me for Mother's Day was he wasn't going to wake me up early, which they both followed through with. So they bring me breakfast in bed, and they bring me a little plate, and it's got an egg and cheese sandwich on it, which is the big one's specialty. That's like his like fancy breakfast that he makes. And a cup of coffee, and on the plate, if you've watched past episodes, you're gonna love this, was a fortune cookie. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I said, you made me coffee? Because they were arguing over who was going to make the coffee because nobody knew how. Like, it's that complicated. So the little one says, yeah, you had some coffee left over in your pot from yesterday. And so I just put that in a cup. I was like, that is so sweet, but also I'm not drinking that. Day old coffee. I feel intestinal problems coming on. But it was very sweet. And then they said, and a fortune cookie, because when we took the mug out of the cupboard, there was a fortune cookie in it. Which, if you watched the episode a few episodes back, I like to hide the fortune cookies in my coffee mugs after my husband and I have Chinese food, like takeout. And then later on, I pull them out, and it's like a little surprise for myself, like, ooh, a fortune cookie. So, ooh, they found a fortune cookie. They thought it was just magical, just like I did. So, not only the sweetness of their thoughtfulness of bringing me breakfast in bed and letting me sleep in, but the hilarity of like, we found a fortune cookie in the coffee mug. So funny. So funny. I got lots of small businesses to share with you. So let's dive right in. My coffee mug is from my lovely friend, Katie of Hello Fern. I grew up with Katie, and she's got lots of really pretty stuff. So I've linked her shop below, and you can go check that out. My earrings are from Honey Glow Designs, which I've shared before. I purchased a pair of like wintry earrings from her, and while I was there, because I can't ever just buy one, I saw these super cute ones, and I thought they were so creative because the two pieces are like the designs connected, but they're disconnected. I just thought it was really creative, something I hadn't seen before. So those were super cute. I love a wooden earring. They're very lightweight, which makes them really easy to wear. I will link both to the shop and to these specific earrings in the show notes. She has so many earrings and lots of like seasonal kinds of stuff. So like if you're American and you want some 4th of July earrings or flower earrings or Easter earrings, or now I'm just making stuff up, Valentine earrings, I don't know. Lots of categories to look and shop on. So highly recommend the shop. She and I have interacted a little bit because there was a very tiny mistake with the other pair of earrings I bought from her, and she was so nice and so great to work with. So highly recommend her and her shop. Again, if you've been with us before, I talked about how on local yarn shop day, I purchased myself some presents for my husband to give to me. And since it was Mother's Day, I got the rest of my presents. So I'm going to share with you. I know people have big feelings about like, oh, shouldn't your husband go out and shop for you instead of you shopping for yourself? And to that I say, nope, this is what works in our relationship. I shockingly, not at all, have a very strong um, aesthetic that I really feel strong about that most people don't share. And so I would much rather, first of all, I hate surprises. I don't want to be surprised. Do not throw me a surprise party. And I would much rather pick out something that I know I'm going to like than him go through the agonizing effort of trying to find something that I'm going to love and then have me have to say, I don't really love it. And can we return it? And so this is what we've come to. He feels guilty sometimes. I do not. I don't desire surprises. So, that being said, here are the things that I bought for myself for Mother's Day. I bought myself this ring, this middle one from Mandrel Metal. No, gosh darn it. I say her name wrong all the time. And then I even try to Google it that way. You can't find it that way because it's not her name. Mandrel Works, not Mandrel Metalworks. Mandrel Works. Both of these rings actually are from her, but this one in the middle is new. And I just thought it was so pretty. I don't know if you can see that center is not a gem. It's not supposed to be a gem. Everyone who has seen it has asked me, but it's like textured and it kind of reflects the colors around it and has some like little pinky uh, hues to it. It's real pretty. I love it. It's simple. I even like really carefully because that edge is kind of wavy. I want to say rough, but it's not rough because I very intentionally like rubbed it up against fabric before I purchased it to make sure that it wasn't gonna catch on my stuff while I was crocheting, catch my yarn. So, love her stuff. You've seen me wear her earrings and her rings, and she's got bracelets and necklaces and all sorts of really beautiful stuff. And she's local to me, which is fantastic. And so is this next maker. I got myself this project bag. Isn't it fun? Well, sorry about that. I have known that my stand that I usually record on has been going for a while. I've tried to fix it several times, but that's the second time that my phone has just flown out of the little clippy do. So I think it's time to move on from that because clearly it's not working. All right. So I was saying I got this gorgeous project bag, which I absolutely love. And this is from a local maker too. This is Milemo. I feel like I should know, but I don't. Milemo, Milemo. She explained to somebody where that came from. It was like a mashing up of a couple things. So, yeah, Mamo handmade. She has such cute stuff, and this is really nice, high quality. This is like a really nice canvas, and then I can just it's sturdy. It's really sturdy. I love that this zipper has a little like loop there so that you can grab on. I just broke one of my. I mean, it lasted a while, but I just broke one of my Megan Makes Do bags because she had just a like a zipper, and then she had kind of like this, like a bead and a leather strap, and I was using that to pull back and forth. Well, surprise, that didn't last forever, and I broke it. It's black on the inside, and it's got two nice pockets, and this is like that helps you know, sturdy fabric. So I'm really looking forward to using that. It's going to be great. Link to her website is in the show notes too. So check that out. Like I said, lots of cute stuff. Purses, wallets, bags, straps, super cute stuff. So highly recommend. Announcements. I was so gung ho, you guys. I showed you the 2 tops I was working on last episode. Last week I showed you, and I was like, I'm gonna make some progress. And then this is the progress I've made. Nothing. However, I'm teaching a class on a crochet top, and I have plowed through that. Are you ready for this? I had not started this last week when I recorded, and now look at this. Look at this. Which is the front? This is the front. It's almost done. I'm almost completely done with this top, and I'm so excited. I just have a few more rows to do along the bottom. This is the Ventanitas top by Amber Bliss of Amber Bliss This. And I'm obsessed. I made adjustments. I wanted one size around and then a size that didn't even exist for length because I'm short. And then I want this cropped to go over a dress. So I am super excited with how it's turning out. This color is gorgeous. I literally went to my local yarn shop and was like, I need more of this color. And she was like, she doesn't dye that anymore. And I bought the last of it. And she was like, what are you going to make with it? And what did you want to make with it? I was like, nothing. I just wanted it in my stash. So I'm super excited about this. I probably won't. Well, maybe I'll be able to get a picture and show you finished, but it needs to go to the local yarn shop to show people what we're going to be making. But I really love it. I highly recommend. And it was so fast. It was so fast to work up. It was so easy to adjust. I highly recommend. Again, links to that are in the show notes as well. So, that's what I've been doing. With you guys, can you believe May is halfway over? I cannot. It's just going to get more chaotic as the month goes on. But I wanted to let you know that Whip Wrap Up is coming back in June. So gather up those whips, like start making more so that we can finish them up in June. Maybe I'll finish my other 2 tops in June. Wouldn't that be great? So yeah, there we go. Let's talk questions. If you have a question, I would love to answer your question. There's a link in the show notes below. You just click there, ask your question. It's all anonymous, so ask me anything. Question number 1. As school wraps up, I'm craving a fun summer project. Any suggestions? Well, of course. Okay, so I think when you are like craving a new project, you need to think about several things. Why are you craving a new project? Are you craving a new project because you're actually really stressed out and that feels like that's going to fix it? I mean, I don't know anybody who would do that. Sometimes we really feel like, I mean, it's just a coping mechanism, right? Some of us cope with stress by exercising. Not me, but some people do, I've heard. Some people cope by eating. Some people cope by yelling at people. Some people cope by purchasing things. And sometimes I think one of the ways I cope is like a need to start something new. So first of all, I would like assess that a little bit, because if you are really stressed out and you're coping with your stress by starting something new, sometimes that can really just add stress. Or it can cause us to go all in on that new project and just avoid the things that we should be doing and then it causes us more stress because we've just avoided all the things. So that might be a little bit of a tough love answer. um, I say it because it's something I do sometimes too, and I think it's just something to be aware of. If you're still like, I want to go, I want to do a project, I think you need to think of, I think you need to narrow down, right? What do you want to do? Do you want something you can really use this summer? Do you want something that is a small project or a big project? Do you want a complicated project or a simple project? Are you looking to learn something new, or are you looking to just relax? Okay. So once you've kind of asked yourself those questions, then you can narrow down to what projects you might want to try. So general categories of projects that you could do would be things like, you could go with clothing. So do you want a new tank top? Do you want a new summer top? Do you want a swimsuit cover up? Do you want a hat, like a beach hat? Those bucket hats are popular. I don't know that I've seen one that I've been totally in love with, but also I'm a child of the 90s, and I'm like, I had a bucket hat. I don't really want one again, let alone to make one again. Make one. I didn't make the first one. You guys, when I was much younger, this was not the 90s. It might have been early 90s. Do you remember the blossom hats? The big hat with the brim that we'd fold up and put big flowers on the front of it? Ooh. My mom definitely made me one of those. And I'm talking from scratch, the whole hat, made me one. Man, I loved that thing. Oh, let me know if you remember those hats. Blossom. That's all I can say. Blossom. Okay. So those could be the types of things you want. You want something to wear. You could, home decor is a great thing to do during the summer, because a lot of times we think, I don't want any yarn on my body in the summer. It's too hot. So things like pillows, or wall hangings, or trivets, or I already said wall hangings, but I'm thinking like the mandala wall hanging sorts of things. Like, you can go from simple to super fancy. So all of those are great things. Trivets and coffee cozies, those are all smaller things that aren't going to be heavy on you as you work on them. And also quick wins. You could go with other accessories, bags and bracelets and earrings and necklaces. Those are all fun summer projects. So, but also then think, like, when you pick up a pattern, you might say, I want to make a summer top for myself. You can make a summer top that's out of a super complicated lace pattern, and that might be what you want. You might want a challenge, something you really need to focus on. Or you can make a lace top that's a very simple repeat, like the Ventanitas top, and that would be soothing. So once you narrow down kind of like what you want to make, I really think then deciding like how complicated you want things really helps decide. You also might want to think, do you want to make something that uses up your stash? Do you want to are you craving buying new yarn? Do you want to work with a wool yarn or an animal fiber? Are you like summers for plant fibers and you want to work with like a bamboo, linen, cotton sort of situation there? So those are all things to think about too. So I want to give you some specific projects from my friends, and I give you projects from my friends because I know they're good patterns. That's really just the beginning and the end of it. So some things to make specifically if you want to make something this summer, I'm recommending these. So we're going to start with the Blythe bag. This is by my friend Amber of Amber Bliss. This, again, same as the Ventanitas top, which I also recommend for a great summer project. The Blythe bag is so stinking cute. And it's made with a heavier weight yarn. So it's a great way to use that heavyweight yarn, but not make it into something to put on your body. It's a super sturdy tote. This would be great for throwing some stuff in for the beach, or a little book, or even a project bag. I mean, so cute. So, so cute. Love that one. My friend Bonnie has the most adorable wall hangings. You guys, the wall hanging is a super simple, this is the perfect mix of like simple and learning something new. So it's the perfect, simple little wall hanging, like a little bunting, and you can make one, you can make 10, and then she's going to tell you how to put all these cute little flowers on them. Isn't that fun? So simple bunting, and then you can test yourself. That's not what I mean. Like expand your skills and try something new with the embroidery on it. I really want to do some embroidery this summer. I bought 2 embroidery patterns and I've done nothing with them. I need to do that. It's going to be so fun. They're going to be gorgeous. Maybe I'll hang one like whoop, right back there, right? That's what I need right there, is just a little something. So that's the Lovely Day wall hanging. Again, links to these below, Etsy and Ravelry, so depending on your personal preference of where to get patterns from. If you are looking for a larger project, my friend Christine of Sweet Potato 3 has her Summer Breeze, oh my gosh, cover up. That's what I'm thinking of. So if you're looking for a big project, but one that is super, it's a nice repeat. So once you learn the stitches, Christine loves to teach you some stitches. So you're gonna like learn a couple little stitches, and then the whole pattern is just a repeat of those things. So you can challenge yourself to learn a couple new stitches, and then you can just relax and repeat those. She made hers out of a gradient skein of yarn, which is just stunning. And so a fun way to maybe use up something in your stash. You could, I think, very easily also make that whole thing shorter and make it like a little cardigan instead of like a duster or a swimsuit cover up, which is what she had intended it for. So you could make that, but not have it be a swimsuit cover up either, right? Summer's a great time to just kind of explore that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to give you one of my patterns, and that is the Daylight Dreams shawl. This is a shawl that looks really complicated, but is such a relaxing make. I should have grabbed it, but I didn't. I'll put up pictures. The whole body of the shawl is a very simple repeat. It's nice and open, so it's great to like wrap up in on a cool summer morning. It would be great for like a wedding or someplace fancy you have to go. I've also just worn it with like jeans and t-shirts and stuff though, and so it can be casual. First of all, it's a 4 or a 5 point. I think it's a 5 point shawl, so it's a really unique shape, but it's almost like a cardigan because it curves around so much that you can easily just throw it over your shoulders and it just lays and drapes really nicely. And then that cute little lace is just one row. You work down and then you work the fancy little lace patterns back and forth, and then you get back and go the other way and then work another little fancy lace. It's really like make the whole shawl, chillax, sit and focus for like an hour and get that border done. It's super chill make, and I love the shape of it. I need to make another shawl in that shape. Really should. Anywho, all the links below. I hope that helps you process through what you really want in a summer project and pick something that you really love and enjoy, and then finish up. And if you start something this month, let's finish it up next month so that you can enjoy it and wear it all summer or use it all summer. So awesome. Question number 2. All right. How do you buy yarn online? I'm always nervous that when I get it, it will be scratchy or the color won't be the same. Whew. I feel you. This is really, really hard. My friend Christine with the cover up, she makes blankets. That's really her like main focus. She loves to make blankets. She works with a lot of yarn companies who sponsor her blankets by providing her yarn support because blankets take a lot of yarn. And when her rule is, or she has said, like generally speaking, if she needs 5 colors for a blanket, 4 of the 5 will look exactly like she expects, and 1 will be different. So I don't know what that says. I mean, I know sort of what it says. Taking pictures that are true to the yarn color is tough. And so people who are like yarn dyers are not necessarily photography professionals. So that's like a bridge, like a gap they have to bridge that to me is really challenging. I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons I stopped selling finished pieces was because of that. I can take a pretty picture, but if the color has to be incredibly accurate, I'm not great at that. So I try to get my colors as accurate as possible in my pictures. But since you're looking at the pattern and not exactly the yarn, like that's not the main thing, if it's a little off, it's not the end of the world. But I think even big yarn companies who repeat colors again and again have the same challenge. Your screen that you're looking at it on can be different. There is a way to, I don't even know what it's called, like zero out your computer monitor. You could maybe Google that. And that helps the colors be as true as possible. But there's also the issue that your monitor can be as true as possible, but if the yarn dyer adjusted the picture not quite right, or if they didn't adjust the picture, like my Ventanitas top. This is a great example. My Ventanitas top, I was trying to take a picture of it on my teal table, and the colors are not the same. They are not the same, but they were close enough that my camera just like shifted both of them so that they were the same. And I was very frustrated because I wanted to show the really pretty color of the top, and it was not the same as my table. So it can be really challenging. So I'm not saying that yarn dyers are like, I will trick them into buying my yarn. What I'm saying is it can be really hard to get that just right. And same with big box companies too. They can also not photograph them quite right. So a couple suggestions would be read the description of the yarn. So especially on We Crochet, I have found them to be incredibly good at describing their colors. So I got this crochet thread that I thought was going to be teal, and it ended up being more of a mint. And I was like, oh man, first of all, I have used it and I do really enjoy it. But when I went back and read the description, they said it was pistachio, which looking at the yarn, yeah, it sure is. So I'm not saying everybody is like super awesome at describing, but if you're looking at a colorway, excuse me, and the yarn dyer is describing it as teal and mint, and you're seeing like blue and teal, like if what you're seeing is a little off, you think it's gray, but they're saying it's brown. They're probably right because they're the one looking at it in person with their eyeballs. So reading those descriptions can be really helpful. But then I think it's a little bit trial and error, which is just something you have to accept when you're shopping online. I have shopped for some clothing online. I have a really hard time with that because I mean, you know how clothing is. It comes, it doesn't fit. It's a lot of trial and error. And just like shopping with yarn, I really struggle with like, okay, so now I've had it shipped to me, now I'm gonna ship it back. That's a lot of like not environmentally friendly stuff. So if you have a local yarn shop that you can go and squish the yarn at, if we're talking like hand dyers, that's a great opportunity to check out a hand dyer and see what their yarn is like in person. You can feel it, so you can feel what their different yarn bases feel like. And then if your local yarn shop doesn't have a colorway that they offer, first ask your local yarn shop because sometimes they can order it in. If they're going to put in another order from that dyer and you want some of that of a specific colorway, they may purchase it, especially if they think it's a colorway that would probably sell. Because usually you can't order like a skein of a colorway. You have to order, like a lot. That seems like, but like a bag of them or like 5 or 10 or whatever. Um, so they may or may not be willing to do that. But once you know the yarn dyer, then going on to their website and purchasing from them, you know what the yarn is going to feel like. You know whether the colors are as saturated as you were expecting. That's my big problem. You know, I love a good saturation. And so I've come to some yarn dyers to know that some yarn dyers are really good at that, and I stick with them. So let me suggest a few people that I have purchased from in the past who have great yarn and really great colors. So first, I'm going to say Junie and Sai. I'm not real sure. I've ordered from them a couple times. Every time I have ordered, I've been thoroughly impressed with how much their pictures online match what I get. And they have really, really beautiful colorways. So I'm going to link to their shop. I'm going to link to the multicolor yarn that I'm showing. I'm going to link to that gorgeous purple, but check out their whole shop because they've got lots of pretty stuff. I actually have some of it right here. I need to get this guy. He's been sitting here so pretty, just like hanging out in my little, as like decor, but I need to put him in with my stash because I don't look at my decor when I'm picking for projects, and I need to use him. So pretty. He'd be great for a summer something. Um, Nanette Wake Studios. I looked this morning. She is taking a little break, as we all deserve. Her shop will be back online on May 28th, it says. So I'm going to link to her shop. Oh, no. Yeah. I used I used her yarn in one of my Lumi cowls, and it was a mini skein set, and I think it was a one of a kind that has since sold out because I wanted to go back and get more, but somebody had already bought it. Colorway, she has just stunning bold colors, and I have never been disappointed when I've gotten them in the mail. They are very true. So I will link to her shop. I can't link to specific listings because her shop is closed right now, but go to her shop. She has several things in her shop. Her husband woodworks, and so they have some spinning supplies. They also have some wool fiber for spinning. Project bags, which I've talked about, are project bags in the past, which are lovely and very durable. Oh, look, it's what I have my Ventanitas top in. It's one of her bags. Um, and then yarn. So you can filter down the side with what you are looking for specifically. And then East Coast Yarn Co. I've shared her work with you before. Her yarn is very soft. And her colors are really great. Sorry. Ooh. So, and she is so sweet. I did a meet the maker with her, with Kristen, and she is lovely. So she has some really like earthy colors, like lots of like blues and browns and um, deep greens and that kind of stuff, which is really gorgeous. But then she has a couple like pow, bold neon kind of fun stuff too. So definitely check that out. Lots of fun. So that's my suggestions. If you have a yarn dyer, a trusted and true that you love, I would love it if you would drop it in a comment below so that we can all go check them out. Drop a name if you don't have a link, but drop a link if you like to their shop so we can all shop too. If you're so inclined to be so kind and share that, that would be lovely. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you back next week. I hope you have a marvelous week and happy crafting.